Good morning. My name is John Blom, and I'm a sales rep with Tremco in the Kitchener-Waterloo territory in Ontario. And I've been with Tremco for over 35 years. Started in 1979. My career sales are approximately $50 million in blackline, and we want to talk to you about working with architects. And I find that architects are very important to my day-to-day business and my yearly business. They probably equate to approximately 40 million or 40% of my sales, and 40% of 3.8 million is quite a bit. So I really have good relationships with my architects, and I count on them to help me in my business on a yearly basis. My introduction to selling to architects started in the mid-'80s or late '80s, where one of my customers was having issues with the roofs that he was putting on his schools, and we had been re-roofing for him, and he was quite happy with our efforts there, and he suggested that I go see an architect that was putting on an addition for a school for him. So with that, I called the architect up and said, listen, I've been asked by the school board to come in and see you, and based on that, I'd like to come in and let you know what I'm doing with regards to their roofing and see if we can help each other out with roofing for this particular client. So that was how I really got my first architectural sale, and it was quite, I found it much easier because, of course, I had the backing of the client to go in. Once I realized that if you had the client's backing, I started asking my other clients at every opportunity whether they were building a new building or an addition, so then I could go after their architects as well and talk to them about, helping them with their roofs as well. So that's really how I started working with architects, engineers, and it's proven to be very fruitful over the years. When I get a call from a roofing or from a architect with roofing requirements, we generally sit down and talk about the type of system that they might be looking for, depending on the type of building that they're designing. When we have so many different options to choose from, it really does help to be a single source supply for the architect, because he can come to us and feel comfortable that we're not going to specify a roof system for a building because that's the only one we have. We can intermingle our systems so that we can really cover any type of substrate that he might have to offer to us. So the flexibility that we give him with regards to our systems is certainly a great opportunity that most competitors don't have. We don't just have a single ply, we don't just have a TPO. We have all the different systems that are popular in today's market, and we have superior service. So we can be there inspecting that installation on a daily basis. We can give him photographic condition reports. We can give him the comfort that he knows that there's somebody looking at that roof, making sure that it's installed properly. I think that the other thing that I talk about to give the architect a little bit more peace of mind is just our warranty, and how Tremco has been very good at honoring our warranties over the years. And when we do that, when we talk about that, it really does differentiate ourselves from our competition, because a lot of them don't look after their warranties. So it really, and the architects have experienced that over the years. I also talk about dealing with pre-qualified roofing contractors and how that's going to make sure that the installation goes as specified. And then we just talk about all of the other good things that Tremco can provide to them over the future with regards to future inspections and built-in maintenance programs and things like that. So generally, when you're dealing with somebody who's not up to date with Tremco, they really you need to give them almost the same presentation as you would to a new industrial account, because that's really what we're going to do for the architect, just not any different really than what we would do for anybody else.
One of the things that I've found when dealing with architects is how much they actually can use our services. Their expertise in roofing is not always as good as it is with the rest of the building stages, and they can really use us as a resource to help them with roofing, which is probably one of the least interesting things that I've found to architects over the years. They really, it's usually the last thing they talk about when they're building or designing a building. It's usually the last thing they put in the specification when they're preparing the specification. And so we could be a great resource to them. We can provide them with specifications, especially now with our new specification program that we have in place. We have great detailed drawings that we can provide to them, and we can really give them the service that most of our people that we compete against can't. They're not interested in doing it. They don't, they're not available 24/7. They can't get a specification to an architect for a cold process or a BUR or whatever system they need in short order, whereas we usually can. So the services that we can provide to them, along with our inspections and our warranties, really sets you miles ahead of any of your competitors, and it's a good feeling to know. And I've had architects say to me, we just don't get the service from anybody else like we do from Tremco, and that's why I think I've been successful with the architects over the years.
Cool.
The light's not on.
How about now?
No. No.
We're recording.
Is it? Okay. All right. Well, I'll just go then. Yeah. So now, once you've got the architect to specify a system, or even another system that, or choice of systems from Tremco, that's really great. And now you know that you're going to be going out to tender, but you really need to make sure that you have the conversation with the architect about the choosing or the selection of a quality roofing contractor. And when you have that conversation, it's important that you let the architect know that we have an approved contractor program, and that some of our roofing contractors are very good at installing all of the different roofing systems that we have. But then again, we might only have 65% of them, or whatever you have in your area, that can install cold process roofing. So maybe a smaller percentage of them can install Burmastic. And then you might only have 3 or 4 that can install a system like AlphaGuard, for example. So you need to have that conversation with the architect, so that he is of the mind that he doesn't just open it up to everybody. If you can talk to your architect, and one of the things that I've done is actually put a list of contractors that have been pre-qualified for the project right into the specification, so that the generals, when they're bidding the job, they have a list of roofing contractors that they can go to, and it really helps the general contractors when they're pricing the job together. And it really, again, we were talking earlier about giving the architect some peace of mind with the installation. When we've got a contractor that's got experience with whatever system that Tremco has brought to the table, the architect again can feel comfortable with the installation even before it's been put down. I think one of the best things about working with design professionals in the marketplace today is that they've always got new projects that are coming up. So once you've got their trust and they feel comfortable with you, and they're specifying you on a regular basis, they're going to continue to do that on their projects. And unlike an industrial commercial facility, the roofing comes to an end once you finish the program. But with an architect or an engineer, it's a continuing area where you can get business for the future. One of the things that I really like to bring to the table when I'm in a meeting with the architects is the strength of the Tremco warranty, and then I like to compare it with what our competitors are providing out in the industry today, because a lot of them, you'll find that you may have gotten to the point where they're willing to specify you and you've got a 15, 20-year warranted system, and then a competitor will come in and say, well, I've got a 15, 20-year warranted system too, and the architect may just, if he hasn't looked at the differences in warranties, he may just go, oh, well, that's good enough for me. I'm going to give you an equal on this project as well. So it's very important to take some time to go through our competitors' warranties and show the weaknesses that are built in those warranties, where you may have to go to Arkadelphia to sue the manufacturer, for example, where if you don't have a maintenance program, the warranty is null and void. You have to issue notification of a roof leak within so many days. And then compare that to the Tremco warranty where, we have a built-in, if it's a QA Plus warranty, a built-in maintenance program where, we cover the cost of all the components down to the roof deck, and where our competitors only stop the water from getting into the building. So those two differences right there are vastly different. And when an architect sees that a 20-year stop-the-leak warranty versus a 20-year dry warranty, all inclusive of components, they'll understand very quickly what the difference in the two warranties, or our warranty versus everybody else's warranty, what those warranty differences are. So have the frank discussion with regards to the warranty, because it's important that that architect is protected long term with regards to roofing. We know that the majority of lawsuits in construction originate at the roofing source, and if the architect feels comfortable with the warranty that he's choosing, it could help you exclude other people from bidding the project. So make sure you talk about the differences in the warranties with the architect.